What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Mod Squad Network's Layeth the Squad Down. How's everybody doing today? Joining me today, we have Rex Uso in the house.
Good morning.
I am your host, Kevin, and today we actually have a sponsor with us. We have Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios. Go find them on Facebook. They do amazing work with skulls. You can get a Star Wars skull, a Joker skull, almost any type of skull you want for your collection. Go check them out. Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios. All right, guys, we had an interesting week of wrestling.
Yes.
We started off Raw, which is where we're going to start with the completion of the draft. Triple H kicked off Monday Night Show by announcing that the night's first draft pick headlined by Rhea Ripley. As you should. Rhea should definitely be the first draft pick when she's available.
I don't know why she wasn't the first draft pick they announced at all. Personally, they should have been announced on the Friday before that.
Well, half of the draft was available on SmackDown and half the draft was available on Raw. It kept thinking, it's WWE. Who knows what they are actually thinking.
Poor planning.
Yeah. Then we get Austin Theory to SmackDown as titles continue to swap brands, blah, blah, blah. I'll give a full list of the draft picks after I go through Raw. But we have Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Dakota Kai, with Bayley and Kai defeating Morgan and Rodriguez, which was an odd choice in my opinion.
I don't think they should have won that match. So no, I'm a big fan of especially Rodriguez. I'm a big fan of hers. And when she first came out, I was kind of but I've grown. She's like a good fungus. She has grown on me. So.
Like a good fungus. I love it. Good analogy. And guys, just to be clear, we're going to go through real quick on SmackDown and AEW to get to Backlash.
Yes.
The draft continues. Let's see, with Ricochet and Strowman defeating Alpha Academy. Brock Lesnar returns. Cody Rhodes was again halted by security as he tried to attack Brock Lesnar, and Lesnar just laughed at him.
I'll say this: Cody with the security teams, and granted, I know that a lot of the security guys are either A, security, or B, in developmental. But I will say that Cody's landing some pretty hard shots on these guys, and I was like, oh. I don't think they'd pay me enough. As an ex-security guy, I was like, nah, you ain't pay me enough for that.
I think he back-fisted one of them by accident really, really hard because it looked like he didn't even look to see what he was doing when he did it. So, yeah, a little bit reckless there by Cody. But, that when you're in that heat of the moment.
Adds to the story. Adds to the story.
Then we have Matt Riddle versus Jimmy Uso, with Riddle defeating Uso. I'm surprised because Riddle's been eating a lot of pins lately. I'm just saying.
He has, but I mean, I don't know. I'm still waiting for RKO's music to pop. I need Orton's music to pop, and it's really annoying me that he's not back yet. I understand injuries, but come on.
No, I get it. Then we have Omos in a complete squash match versus a no-name nobody. So Omos wins.
Of course.
But then we have a mixed tag team match, the LWO versus the Judgment Day, with the Judgment Day defeating LWO. I don't know how I feel about this. I kind of like the LWO.
I do. I like the LWO. I like them because yes, they do have shades of, pulling off the NWO stuff. And I like that, except they're not all rowdy and everything. And I'm not sure, there was a video clip I just saw that WWE posted out with Selena Vega talking about how they were all getting matching NWO or LWO tattoos. So cool. the group just got, as an entirety, just got all matching LWO tattoos on their arms or wherever.
Well, I mean, let's face it. They are all about the history of WWE, WCW.
Oh yeah.
The history of wrestling in general, and I'm sure all of them were probably inspired by the late great Eddie Guerrero, who started
Hmm.
the LWO. So I get it. It's fitting.
Oh, it is. I like it.
But then we have Seth Rollins versus Solo Sikoa, with Rollins defeating Sikoa via DQ. Now, I'm okay with this because I don't think Solo should be taking pins. I don't mind him losing if it's by disqualification, but yeah,
Agreed.
Rollins
It's good.
wins.
It's a good match. Good match.
It was a really good match. Then let's see. We have the full draft pick, the full WWE Draft Night 2 results. We have Rhea Ripley going to Raw, Austin Theory going to SmackDown, Seth Rollins going to Raw, Charlotte Flair, the Queen herself, going to SmackDown, KO and Sami Zayn going to Raw, the Usos going to SmackDown,
Hmm.
Judgment Day staying on Raw, the LWO going to SmackDown, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez coming over to Raw. I do like that. I do
Good
like that a
choice.
lot. I actually really like Asuka going to SmackDown, which in the New Day, I thought that they were going to break the New Day up. I wish they'd break the New Day up, but they're coming to Raw.
I see. When they broke him up and they took Big E out, of course pre-injury, but I think that was as far as I went. I think the New Day still has a lot left, and they're still too popular for them to break up.
I get it, but I just want to see. I want to see singles runs at this point.
I would like to see them get more relevant than they are. I
That's
would
fair.
like that. I mean, WWE has not pushed them to be relevant in a while. They come out, comic relief, do their thing, and then that's pretty much it.
That's
So,
fair. We have the Brawling Brutes going to SmackDown. Trish Stratus staying on Raw. Karrion Kross going to SmackDown. Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey going to Raw. L.A. Knight, yeah, going to SmackDown. Braun Strowman and Ricochet coming to Raw. Shotzi, SmackDown. Bronson Reed, Raw. Pretty Deadly from NXT, they're being brought up to go to SmackDown. The Alpha Academy on Raw. Where they call his name? Meat Mountain. Rick Boobs.
Big boobs.
on SmackDown. Some more NXT call-ups. Katana Chance and Caden Carter are going to Raw, and Cameron Grimes going to SmackDown. There you have it. That is the draft.
I
And
just
that was
want
a
to.
lot.
I just need to add when they drafted Trish, when they pulled Trish Stratus's card, I just want to say that I wasn't happy about that. I mean, why is she becoming a thing again? Why is she included in the draft?
I get
I'm all
it.
about her. I'm all about her. Trust me, I love that woman. But come on,
I get it. It's taking the spot of somebody who's should probably be more relevant, but it's Trish.
they're like
It's
Raw
Trish.
chooses Hulk Hogan. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I was thinking was next.
Oh my
What's
God.
going on?
I get it. I get it. I get it. But yeah, I'm a big, huge Trish fan.
As am I.
Yeah, but you're right.
Small doses, not a draft pick coming as a mainstay on the show.
No, you're definitely right. You're definitely right. All right, we're moving over to SmackDown. We have Rey Mysterio and LWO kicked off the show. Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega battled Dominic Mysterio and SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley in a mixed tag match. This was actually a really, really good match. The fans in San Juan completely bought into the entire segment, loudly cheering the baby faces and drowning out Dom's taunts.
Oh, that was great.
Oh, yes, this was the first event in San Juan SmackDown before Backlash. I believe they used the same building. Freaking the crowd there, freaking amazing.
Oh yeah,
amazing. It was a great start to the show, enhanced exponentially by the reaction of the fans to everyone that unfolded the ring. So, great match. And I don't remember who won the match.
I don't think it matters.
Yeah, it don't. It was a good match. It was a good match.
It was a go home match right before Backlash. So
Right.
you know,
Then we have a match that I do not remember at all. Carl Anderson and Luke Gallows versus the Viking Raiders, with Andersons and Gallo defeating the Raiders in what I would guess not be a great match.
it was actually an okay match. I'll say it was an okay match. Of course, what's her name's out there for the Viking Raiders causing havoc, and then of course she gets taken out by the other girl, and that leads to a distraction, and then Gallows they do their little finishing maneuver. I can't remember what it's called, but they slam the big boy down on the ground pretty hard. And
I will say, I hope that since AJ's back and the OC are fully formed again, I hope that this pushes Mia Yim to a little bit higher standards than eating pins every week, because I am a big fan of Mia Yim. So
I agree. I think they should do something and push her. So and on the same thing with the Viking Raiders, though, I don't like, and I think I mentioned last time I was on your show, I do not like the route the Viking Raiders have gone. I like them better when they were funny. Yeah. I really do. You know,
I do too.
The Olympics between the Viking Raiders and the New Day, like 3 or 4 years ago, I think it was, we were doing the competitions and stuff. Yeah. That was amazingly great. You know, I mean, they need to get back to that. Not this.
It's too Viking, and I don't like Sarah Logan there at all. I don't like her as Valhalla. I think they don't need her to be over.
Yeah. So. No, they don't.
Then we had a quick promo by Bel Air, where Sky, Bailey, and Dakota Kai predictably interrupted with a beatdown ensued by Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez for the save. It was an okay segment for what it was.
It was.
Then we have the Street Profits versus Imperium, with the Street Profits getting the win over Imperium, which I was surprised by that.
I wasn't. I think it's about time they push the Street Profits again. So I do. And Imperium, they've already, as a group, they're already holding one title. So I think it's time they push them to, push the Street Profits up again. So
no, I get that. I just
too much talent.
I think I was surprised by it because Imperium's led by the Intercontinental Champion, so I figured that they'd be have the superior push at this point, but apparently not.
Yeah.
Next, we get a Cody Rhodes promo with Cody Rhodes will battle Brock Lesnar at Backlash. The American Nightmare is one of the best promos in the business, even here, because he did a really good job. I love his promos. I do love me some Cody promos. I like how he treats them as business,
yes,
and not I just want to fight you because you did something to me.
He's really good, and I like it. Like when he's talking to Paul Heyman, he's like Mr. Heyman every time. I mean, he's very respectful when he does it, and I've always found that I mean, don't get me wrong. Was it not Star? What was I can't remember his alter ego.
It was Stardust.
Was it Stardust?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it was Goldust and Stardust. That's what it was. I miss the Stardust days. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, those were fun. So
they were fun, but definitely gimmicky as hell.
Yeah, they were. You know, I mean,
but that type of gimmick, is only mid card. I mean, Cody Rhodes now, the way he carries himself now, that's definitely.
Oh yeah, and him coming back, him coming back to WWE. It was in the, is in his contract. He's like, I'm not doing anything Stardust related. Yeah. I'm not doing this. This is why I'm coming back. And
he does mention it every once in a while, but especially he also mentions the dashing Cody Rhodes phase as well too. But but next we have Shinsuke Nakamura versus Karrion Kross, with Nakamura defeating Kross. This was a really good match as well. I'm not a fan of Karrion Kross. I don't think he's very good in the ring, but I am definitely a big fan of Shinsuke.
I like Karrion Kross's. I like the back hallway stuff he does. When he's just that he's good there. I don't think he's that great of a performer in ring, but his gimmick, everything he's doing backstage, I love it. I mean, I'm not fond of his girl, but she annoys me.
I do like his backstage promos when he don't get too deep into it. He has to hold back a little because once he gets too deep, it gets too comical, and I don't like it. Then we have Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, with Rey Mysterio and Vega defeating Dominic and Ripley. This was this was actually needed for the show because Zelina and Ripley. You need to give Zelina a boost. You can't have her losing going into the next night facing
Yeah,
Ripley. So
yeah, yeah. And I think it was great, and it was and again the crowd. To me, the crowd made the match. It did. The crowd was amazing, and I've got a lot to say about that when we get to the Backlash segment as well. So
yeah, and that was your main event of the night: Rey Mysterio and Zelina Vega versus Dominic, which was a really good performance. All right, let's move on over to AEW. I'm going to go through these real quick because not much really happened storyline wise on these shows. We had Orange Cassidy, Adam Cole, Roderick Strong, and Bandito. Now that's actually a storyline. Roderick Strong, this is his first night performing on AEW. He came back. He came into AEW last week, and now he's performing his first match on AEW versus the Jericho Appreciation Society. So, with Cole, Strong, Cassidy, and Bandito getting the win against the Appreciation Society, it was an okay match. A lot of I won't say dull spots, but it's when there's too much going on, there's not a whole lot going on. You know what I mean? It's
yeah,
kind of like the Royal Rumble when there's like 20 people in the damn ring. You can't focus in on anything, so nothing's really going on that's important.
yeah. Now I don't watch. Admittedly, I don't watch AEW as much as I should. Now, Orange Cassidy, he's the one that has the black and white lead when he comes in,
Mm-hmm.
and Orange Cassidy weighing something from somewhere. Isn't that Orange
Yeah,
Cassidy?
yeah,
Okay,
that's Orange
I
Cassidy.
do love his entrance. It's so bland and generic. I love it.
Oh,
I
that's his
love that.
thing. And he's like, I don't care,
Yeah,
whatever. And then he'll do chops like he'll
yeah,
just like barely touch you, chop and barely kick you, and that's his thing. It's like
yeah.
it's a
I like
good,
him.
yeah, I like that. Then we have the Blackpool Combat Club speaks. They gave a little promo saying how iron sharpens iron and all that stuff, and it was your normal Blackpool Combat Club BS. But then we have Willow Nightingale versus Soraya. We have Tony Storm and what's her name? Tony Storm, Ruby Soho in the corner of Soraya, and Willow Nightingale comes out there, and actually Soraya defeats Willow Nightingale in sort of a schmozz finish.
Yeah.
But then we have the return of oh my god, I can't remember her damn name. Io, no, Sheeta returns. Sheeta returns, and it looks like she's about to join the Outcast. But then we have Dr. D, Britt Baker, and the women's champion Jamie Hayter come up from behind, and they just put the beat down on the Outcast. So it was a swerve. I liked it.
Spurs are good.
Yeah, I like a good swerve. Then we had the Tres de Mayo Trios Battle Royal. Again, this was a lot of people doing a lot of things to where you couldn't focus in on anything in particular, but the Acclaim win. It's the Acclaimed. Rex Uso. Scissor me. Rex.
Oh, I go
Oh,
the wrong way every time.
scissor me. Ah.
Ah, I go the wrong way every time.
It's all right.
I don't
And
like having my camera reversed.
as a lot of people. Next, we have Kenny Omega speaking.
Amigo.
Yeah, Well, we've had a lot of luchadors, so yeah, Kenny Omega.
This is the new Luchador spinoff.
Kenny Omega speaks with Don Callis, and basically a retort to what the Blackpool Combat Club was saying. So it was again. It was bland. It was just bland. Nothing special. Sometimes these backstage interviews can be good, but when it's a pre-recorded one, I don't feel them. Like
Yeah.
it's almost fast forward material.
Sometimes for me it is. For me it is.
Yeah. Then we have Wardlow in action against a absolute nobody who squashes him, and he calls out. He says he wants to have a title championship match, a TNT championship. Was not battle royal, open challenge, and he calls out Christian Cage to bring out Dino Boy, um, dinosaurs. No, I'm horrible with these names right now, guys. Sorry.
You need
It
more
is
coffee.
Luchasaurus. I do. I have not had my coffee this morning. Luchasaurus. They call out Luchasaurus, saying he wants to battle Luchasaurus, and Christian Cage is like, well, the shot isn't for him. It's for me. I'm taking it. And Wardlow looked confused, and that was that.
Yeah.
Then we have a Ricky Starks versus Juice Robinson, with Starks getting the win on Juice. Then we had the Four Pillars tag team match, to where if Darby Allin and Jack Perry win, then it is a four-way match between MJF and Sammy Guevara at a Double or Nothing. So this is a tag match: MJF and Sammy Guevara versus Darby Allin and Jack Perry. And Darby Allin and Jack Perry win. So now it's going to be a four-way match at the next pay-per-view for the TNT Championship, and that was AEW. Again, I'm going through this real quick, guys, because the real highlight of today is the pay-per-view Backlash. I did not watch Rampage at all, so I'm just going to go through the winners and losers. The Lucha Bros and Vikingo versus Hobbs and Marshall and Solo.
Battle categories.
Battle cat. Oh, such a cute little kitty cat. The Lucha Bros and Vikingo win. Then we have Jade Cargill, which should be featured more on AEW, I believe, versus Gia Scott, and Jade Cargill wins. Mark Briscoe versus Preston Vance. Mark Briscoe wins, as you do. Then we have the Firm deletion with the Hardys, and Cassidy and Hook win. So now I believe the Hardys and the Hardys are free of the contracts from the Firm. They can do whatever they want. So there you have it. That is AEW Rampage. Oh,
that was quick.
That was quick. All right, Backlash. Let's start this off with Bianca Belair versus Io Sky in probably... Oh, man, I don't want to call this match a night, but, man, this was such a good match. They kicked it off, and they set the tone for the match. I almost thought Io Sky was going to win, because that crowd was going insane for Io.
They were. Again, a crowd. That's my big thing tonight in the show today. Is going to be the crowd, because the crowd was amazing the whole night. I mean, it was just, if they don't do another thing down in San Juan soon, I'm going to be very depressed, because they did great. And I do believe that, I think that Io Sky should have gotten that push, and I think the title should have changed hands.
I believe that. I'm predicting it now. Within the year, Io Sky is going to hold a women's championship. I'm predicting it now.
I think she should have gotten it last night. And I do believe, kind of like with other factions currently in WWE, there's certain little cracks that are starting to show in factions, and Damage Control is one of those. And I know that when next up, there's going to be repercussions for Bayley, kind of getting involved a little bit when she shouldn't have, and I think Io is going to be pissed. So
yeah, I think so too. I think it's the cracks are showing, guys. The cracks are showing, yeah. But then we have Omos versus Seth Rollins, which, oddly enough, I thought that this was going to be one of those matches where Omos just totally dominated, and Seth Rollins gets in something lucky at the end. But no, this was a good back and forth.
It was.
This was a really good back and forth, with Seth Rollins getting the win. And I like the fact that even with the 2 stomps, it wasn't enough to put Omos out. Seth had to come off was it top rope or the second rope?
I think it was second rope.
Second rope. Yeah, he comes off the rope for a stomp. I get that. almost needs special treatment to defeat him because the dude is massive. The dude is absolutely huge.
He is. Look, I've been a fan. I don't like, the whole big silent or I crush you type guys. I don't. You have to have something. But almost when what was it? Was it the WWE Fight Club like
Mhm.
4 years ago? He was the doorman. Just standing back there like this the whole time. Always. I loved him then. I was like, I need to see this guy in a ring. I need to see this guy.
Oh
You know.
man, I they used to have the NXT Florida loop back when I lived in Florida, and they had a show in my town, and I went there, and he was the doorman taking the tickets at there, and
Yeah,
I'm like, literally almost looked straight up at him. I mean, dude is uh, he is a giant.
he
Like
is.
I was like, dude, they have you taking tickets? You should be in the ring.
Yeah.
Little did I know that he was actually training at that
Yeah.
time. But yeah,
Yeah, good. I thought it was a great match. I'm glad that Seth came off with the win on that. I am. So
yeah. But then we have Austin Theory versus Bronson Reed versus Bobby Lashley, with Austin Theory retaining his
bunch of
United States Championship.
BS. BS.
Who did you want to win this one?
Bobby Lashley, 100%.
See, I wanted Bronson Reed to win it.
See, well, hey, I look. I got to support the veteran on this. I mean, Bobby's an Army vet.
I got you.
I got to support, and I was really hoping. I think he's a better champion. The only time I've never disliked Bobby, I didn't like him when the whole Lana storyline was going on because I thought that was just dumb filler BS. But I think that I like Bobby's a great guy. I just think that but I knew in my heart of hearts that he was going to retain. I did, and I had already when the match started, I was like, Bronson's going to do this, and this, Lashley did this, and then he's going to steal the win back. He's going to retain. I knew it was going to happen.
I was hoping that the title would change hands. I didn't actually think it would. It was more of a hope than anything because Austin Theory is a good champion. He's that heel, that smarmy, cocky
Oh yeah,
heel that makes for a good United States champion, in my opinion. Yeah.
no, he's excuse me, he's good. I like him. I mean, he's good performer. Very athletic. I mean, I've got nothing against him, and the whole point is to get people to not like you or to get a reaction from the crowd, and he gets a reaction. Not as much as Dom gets right now, but he gets a reaction.
Well, speaking of reaction, the match that we had next was Rhea Ripley versus Zelina Vega, and Zelina, the reaction that she got from that crowd, being Puerto Rican herself, wrestling in Puerto Rico.
Yes.
Oh, the way she came out in her gear, with the big Puerto Rican flag cape that she had, it was absolutely beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, seeing her tear up almost made me tear up because you could just see the emotion, the pride that she had in herself.
Yeah. And she also dedicated that match to her dad as well.
Yeah.
And that was which I think added to it. But it was good. I mean, it was really good. I don't get me wrong, mommy's good, like mommy, but I would have liked to have seen that change hands to her, especially being hometown girl coming home, representing the way that I think the crowd would have gone crazy for that.
The only way that she wins is if she wins there, and the very next night that they wrestle on Monday night, she loses back to.
And I would have been I would have been okay with that just to see the crowd reaction if she had won that match.
Yeah,
I'd have been okay with that. Back to back, win lose, I would have.
Which would have been perfect, actually, because Rey Mysterio did the same thing. He won the heavyweight championship and then lost it the next night.
Yep.
On Raw. So it would have been, and she's part of the LWO. Rey Mysterio part of the LWO.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It would have been perfect. But then again, you would give Rhea a loss, and I don't want to do that either. So
I know you're too big into mommy right now. I get
it. Next we have Bad Bunny versus Damian Priest, and this was we had the Judgment Day win, and then we had the Judgment Day lose. But I will say that this was done very interestingly. This was a street fight. We had Savio Vega come out.
Yes, I was very excited when he walked the backstage promo and Bad Buddy, he gave him that kendo stick. As
Yes.
soon as he walked out, I was like, I'm old school. I was like, hell yes.
Yeah.
I was very excited about that, and then him coming out later in the match was amazing.
Oh, and then we get the I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool.
Yes,
We have
it was.
Carlito come out. Oh my God, he got to spit the apple in Dominic's face. It was freaking amazing.
Yeah, it was. I really enjoyed that, and I'll say, Carlito as a wrestler, I remember when he first came into WWE. It was WWE or WCW? I can't. I don't know.
It was WWE.
Yeah, when he first came in, he was not big at all.
Mm-mm.
Muscle. I mean, he had he had build to him, but he was not big. That boy is big now. He is just nothing but gym. I'm like, he's got a good. He's been working out.
When he first came into, he had that 20-year-old build. He didn't have. Now he has a man's build. He has a man's
he
build.
does.
Yeah.
He does. But he as soon as that music hit though, I was like, I mean, I came out of my seat here at the house. I did. I was like, I love Carlito. I do. I always have.
I was
Carlito and Cena matches back in the day.
Oh,
superb.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm so glad that the WWE does allow him to come back every now and again.
Yes.
It's actually Carlito's choice that he does not come back full time, mainly because of the drug testing. But it is what it is.
I have a question. Does never mind. That's off there. It's drug testing related. I have questions.
Okay.
It deals with Ric Flair drip is what it deals with.
Oh, I get you. I get you. Yeah. But yeah, Bad Bunny gets the win. Fantastic match. I'm going to call this now. This is my match of the week.
I have to agree.
Match of the week. Yeah. Then we get the Usos and Solo Sikoa versus Riddle, Zayn, and Owens. With the Bloodline getting the win. Not without a little bit of controversy, though.
Oh, Sikoa should have taken his brother out last night.
Oh,
we all know it's coming.
Oh yeah, there was some blind tags that the other didn't know was coming, and hard blind tags.
The second one, when he tagged Sikoa back out after he tagged himself in,
it was like a chop. It was like a Ric Flair chop.
It was. This slap. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. It was loud. And then I love how Sikoa grabbed him by the throat.
Oh yeah.
It was about to, the crowd went nuts.
And it wasn't like a grab and then like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. Oh no, he held on to him.
Yeah.
He held on to him and he was like, should I? Because my tribal chief is pulling these strings from above. He is. Yeah. He's pulling these strings, and the way the storylines have been going lately, especially with Paul Heyman, hey, your tribal chief loves you. He does,
Yep.
Hey, oh no, he didn't want you here tonight. They're pushing it, and I was actually surprised that the draft put them all on the same show still. I was surprised.
I'm not, because you want to see this fall apart on the same show. You want to see it fall apart. But yeah, you could see Solo, the anger did not go away immediately. You could see it took a while for that anger to just flow away from him to where he finally was like, okay, we won. Yes.
Yeah.
But you could see he wanted to attack his brother. It was really,
he did. I'm really excited about how this is going to end. I am, and I'm going to make a prediction real quick. I think that after this bloodline thing breaks down a little bit, what's going to end up happening is there's going to be a match that's going to be involved, and I believe that that Jay's going to be on the side of good. He is. He's going to be tag teaming with Sammy, and it's going to be a triple threat match against Sikoa, his brother, and possibly Reigns. I see that in the next year.
I'd be down with that. I would definitely be down with that.
He's going to realize that Sammy was right all along.
Well, that's why they keep having Sammy keep going back to him, I think.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. But then we have the main event of the night, Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes, in another really good match where Brock Lesnar got cut open.
Oh yeah, hit that exposed turnbuckle.
Oh
Oh
my God.
yeah,
Yeah.
that was good. I liked it. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know if it was intentional. It's not like the days of old when they get the little razor blades and they barely cut the skin. Like, oh, punch me right here because
The,
it's gonna bust open.
this
I
was
mean,
hard way. You could see it. It was hard way. I
it
believe.
was,
Yeah.
it was. And then
It,
best
go
picture of
ahead.
the night though. Best picture of the night after he cut himself open. He's bleeding. But Cody's standing there. He's got blood on him. He goes, it just like wipes the blood.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's beast mode right there. I was like, it wasn't
Yeah.
like it's like he was proud of that. He had that
Oh yeah.
look. I was like, yes.
Yeah,
So,
Cody attacked Brock before the bell even started to get that upper
oh
hand,
yeah,
and then, it was a good back and forth. There was a mini suplex city going on, and then Cody exposed the turnbuckle. Brock hits the turnbuckle with his head, because you could almost see it. He went in, hit it, and as he come up, you could just see the split.
oh yeah.
So I am surprised Brock gave himself like that to Cody. People give Brock a lot of shit, but Brock he loves the business.
He's a
Because
work. He
yeah,
works.
yeah, he would not he could see he can see what Cody's doing, and I think he's all for it. So
Yeah,
I
he's a great work. He's a great worker. I mean, I've seen interviews with other wrestlers that of course, kayfabe aside, that are like, oh, I love working with Brock, and he's just
mm,
great and amazing, and blah blah. And you're thinking, dude, he sent you to Suplex City last week with like 12 suplexes, and you're like, I love working with this guy.
yeah.
What kind of masochistic BS are y'all into?
Well,
So
I mean, granted, it's a suplex, but
yeah,
Brock looks like he gives some of the safest suplexes, for that look devastating. You know what I
oh yeah,
mean? I mean, he's so strong that he's able to control you without just flinging you. You know what I mean? Now, don't get me wrong. Ask Braun Strowman about if you're careless in the ring, what will
yes,
happen?
yes,
because Braun Strowman took a receipt one time from Brock in the ring, so
yeah.
it was good. But that is all we have this week um, for wrestling. Did you mention your match of the week, sir?
My match of the week was same pick as yours, man. It was. I mean, it
The
was a
street
great.
fight.
It was a great match. The crowd. It was for me. It was the crowd the whole time.
I agree.
They made that, and I will say, Bad Bunny. I'm not a fan of the music. I'm not, but I am a fan of the wrestler.
Right.
It's like Logan Paul. I'm not a fan of his podcast BS, but that boy can wrestle,
He can go.
and he
Yeah.
can. So I've been very impressed. It's not like the old days when you have Jay Leno come into the ring and get body slammed,
Pete
or
Rose. Pete
or
Rose.
heroes. Even Mike Tyson, who's the baddest man on the planet for
Yeah.
forever, probably still is. If you lay off some of the stuff he's doing nowadays, but he's just they come in and they're actually doing the job, and I think that there was some really good moves that they're in that match. I really do.
Well, you can
I,
tell it's his. They're fans. They're
oh
fans
yeah, oh
first.
yeah, oh yes,
So I actually believe there was a interview with Bad Bunny on the James Corbin show where Bad Bunny actually said wrestling and WrestleMania was the highlight of his career so far. So
yeah, and as it should. I mean, it's just like I said, I love the match. It was great, but the crowd for me was everything. The crowd, the reactions, Salvo, Carlito coming out, the crowd reactions to that. I mean, it was amazing.
all right.
And uno dos tres. That's all I got to say. Loved it.
Yes,
Loved it.
the crowd. Uno, dos. I love. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
It was great. All right, guys. I do believe that is all we have this week. So make sure you check out Back to the Retro Review, where I review 80s and 90s movies. That is the sister channel of the Mod Squad. Make sure you check out the horror show, the Movie Talk Monday, the Gamer Show. We go live every Saturday night. You can find us on most major podcasting platforms. Make sure you check out our sponsor, Skullectomy by Jolt 7 Studios on Facebook. Reach out to them if you would like a skull because they do amazing work. Make sure you check them out. All right. So for Rex Uso, I am Kevin saying keep on wrestling, everybody.